I'll record it to my computer.
Okay.
It's loading.
Huh?
It's loading.
I still didn't understand what you're saying.
I said it's loading.
Oh, it's loading. Got it.
I can see the ocean. Are you letting people know that we're going live?
Yes.
I have full internet. I have no idea why it's taking so long. I'm pretty sure it's my computer. Has to be. It's got to be the CPU.
Okay.
Apparently my internet connection is unstable.
Okay. You want to try using mine?
Oh, hang on. We're going live on Bookface. How can I use your internet when I'm here in Bristol?
Oh, that's true. That won't.
I mean, we could try.
Well, you said we're live, right? Are we live?
I don't know. Does it say we're live? Still wearing like a bitch at my end.
Oh, okay.
So for all of those of you who are already watching live, you just heard me swear. Aren't you
Welcome to Life with Dawn Bates, because that happens pretty regularly. I'm just gonna pretend that we are live, because that's, you know, I'd say this whether we were live or not.
Cheeky bitch. Don't tell people that it's a regular thing when I'm around to be swearing.
It is for me. I don't know. I can't speak for you. I guess it's true. I'll only speak for
I'm
you.
a good girl. I don't swear. Not fucking lightly. What the hell? What's going on Facebook? Oh, are you for real? En serio? Wallahi? What the fuck? Preparing live streaming preview. Dun 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 dun. Zoom to Facebook Live. Oh, that's really interesting, because if you look at the F for Facebook and the live for live, so F Live, Facebook Live, it looks like Sky News. Interesting. I wonder which one owns. I should imagine that Facebook owns a very large share in Sky News. They're all Zionists.
At this point, yes.
They're all Zionists.
Sky News. So. Even though Sky News is, you know, nothing small.
Yeah, but you know, they're all Zionists, so they're all going to be in bed with one another, aren't they? So, you know. Okay. Oh my God, I could have gone to India and made a cup of tea by now. I think I put a bit too much apple cider vinegar in that one. Makes me go cross-eyed. I wish something else would make me go cross-eyed. Well, it says that we're live and that we're preparing. Everyone's probably hearing me muttering away to myself, which I'm not really.
Well, let's see, because it's not on my page. It's not live on my page because I'm on my page now. I'm going over to yours. Yeah, we're not live.
Oh, something just happened. Something just happened. Again, something just happened. Okay. Oh, what's happening? Get started. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, title, breakdown. Oh, I have to start breakdown to wake up book launch series. So excited to be birthing this game changing book. Brace yourself, book. It's a life-changing experience. You are going to want to get right. Well, that was quickly written. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what else I need to do for this to go live. If it's going live. Ah, what's happening? Oh, it's doing a redirect. It's doing a redirect. And we're going to get there. And it's just, come on. Oh, wallahi. Now it's setting up the meeting for Facebook Live. Oh, we're 100%. We are at 100%, and we have a comment done. It's redirecting. Oh. It says Facebook. I don't know what else it says. What is going on? It has taken 11 minutes, and I have no idea what is happening. Has it gone live? Has it gone live? Oh, it says I am live now. And
yeah,
are we
we're gonna
live?
go with like we are live, even though I'm not seeing it on your page or mine.
I can see it on my page. Apparently,
you can see it. You can see us on your page.
I can.
Okay.
I can.
All right, so we're live, folks. We're live. We'll figure this all out. I'm going to just go on with the fact that we are live and we're recording it. So if it's not live, then we put it on Facebook later. All good. Hey, everyone in Facebook world. This is Jocelyn back again. I know you guys are going to really get to know me. Don't worry, cover your face. We're already starting. This is awesome. All right, so guys, there's probably going to be some laughters. There's probably going to be some fuck yous along the way. Just to give you a fair warning. There may even be some tears. In fact, there'll probably everything in between. So the reason I'm coming live today is just it's an incredibly exciting, momentous occasion for myself. And I asked Dawn to join me for this conversation. And starting today and over the next several weeks, I'm going to be joined by each and every one of the authors that are part of the Breakdown to Wake Up Journey Beyond the Now. So for anyone who's been following my Facebook feed, you guys have been seeing me posting about it for the last several weeks, several months, actually, well, maybe only 2 months now, because it happens so goddamn fast.
Welcome to my world, baby.
Well, you know what? I can say, you know what? We'll see what Facebook does about streaming me. We'll find. I mean, you know, they're doing all sorts of fun things. So on Saturday, Saturday for me in the U.S. on November 7th, Breakdown to Wake Up: Journey Beyond the Now will be available for pre-sale. This book, I know, this book has come together in wicked fast time. 9 short weeks ago. Maybe about 2 months ago, Dawn and I met through, I think we were going to talk about podcasting. We still haven't done that. Yeah. And I had this lightning bolt of an idea come through. I call that an intuitive hit. And there was words that were coming out of my mouth that I couldn't even tell you that were mine, yet I knew they were me speaking. I asked Dawn to participate in a panel series that I've yet to actually develop. Literally, I have since done them. And a week later, I reached out and said, "This is what I want to call it." And her response to me was, "This is also your book." To which I said, "Fuck." So if you haven't heard that story,
She's
hear it now, hear it again. What transpired very soon after, or within that half hour, was, yeah, you know what? All the panelists that I'm going to bring together for this panel series, they can be authors. Let's play with that. And we started with 12 authors. That was my idea. To which this one says to me, 15. I said, okay.
Fuck you again.
And
she swears a lot, everybody. Brace yourself. It's not me that swears. It's
I'm from New Jersey. It's part of my vernacular. So
excuse me, I have to just stop you there. You're a coach. We cannot blame our past and our environment and our upbringing on today.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. You're absolutely right. Thank you.
I know I'm always right because I'm always wrong.
So put that call into the universe. And here we are 9 weeks later with 16 authors having come together, sharing personal journeys of personal breakdowns, to being on their knees, not seeing, just only understanding their darkness and their depth of pain, and not understanding what it was going to take to get out of that, knowing though that there was a spark within them, that spark was going to still continue to light them from within. And over time, that spark ignited into a burning flame. And so I really wanted to take
a fire
to spend with each one of the authors that came on board. And although I am here with Dawn today, and Dawn's really an integral piece in this, because not only did she step up and say, yes, I want to, co-author with you. I'm going to publish this book. You're going to publish this under my publishing company. And I was like, wait, what? And here we are. So I want to actually though begin.
I'm not bossy though. I just want. I'm not bossy though. I don't tell people what to do. I invite them.
This is true. Yes, it's true. This is an invitation. I really want to start though why it was so important for me to really follow through on this idea, because it was a spark. I've known for a very long time that I had a story within me to write. And I've known this for years and years and years and years. I just didn't know how that was going to come through. I didn't know what that was going to look like. And as I, traveled through and continue to travel through this awakening and understanding of me, it's not so much about figuring out the how or why. It's surrendering to allowing it to come to fruition. And that's exactly what's happened in this last several weeks. My journey began 3.5 years ago, very soon after moving to Colorado, and recognizing that my marriage was very unhealthy. And really, to be very honest with you, I was just very unhealthy with me. I had a horrible relationship with myself, not throughout my entire life. However, it got to a point that I didn't know who I was anymore. I was miserably unhappy. And if you looked at my life on the outside, I had everything, right? I had a beautiful home. We just moved to Colorado from Pennsylvania. I walked away from a really prolific career. We owned a business. I had a small child. I was married. So on the outside, I'm living this like idyllic American dream. And on the inside, I'm crumbling. And so the reason I use that spark piece is that I recognized that even that my fire was out. I was depleted, and I didn't know why, and I didn't know how I was going to get that fire back. I knew enough that I still had this little ember inside of me burning, and that's all I knew. And very soon after, I recognized that it was important for me to end my marriage because there was a lot of things that I had to do for me, and I did. And in that journey of discovering myself, because I'd removed all these labels, I'd removed the labels of wife, of being an employer or an employee, actually being an employer too, because we soon after also closed our business back east. I didn't know who I was because I defined myself by what I had done. by these other external labels of me. And the only thing, again, I had was that little ember inside of me that kept saying, keep moving forward.
Just live.
Yeah. And as I started to dive into that, I started sharing my story very publicly on Facebook, something I had never done, because up until that point, there's terminology you can talk about living in the world, right? We can either be watching from the sidelines or playing on the court of life. And I've been watching on sidelines for years, and I wasn't playing on the court of my life. So I started doing that, and I started sharing about it, and the good stuff and the ugly stuff. And there were days, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys it was beautiful, because it fucking wasn't. There were days I was on the sofa crying for hours and hours, and I just allowed it because I had to.
Yeah, you did.
And what I recognized through that process was relatability, that I wasn't, even though I was feeling alone in my little space, I wasn't alone. Because the more I shared, the more people came to me and said, oh my God, thank you for giving me permission, because I've been there too, or I'm here right now, or I think I'm going to be heading down your path pretty soon and I'm terrified. And thank you for giving me the strength to take the step I may need to take. That wasn't my expectation. In fact, my only expectation was I had to embrace these parts of me that felt disintegrated. I felt like I was cracking from the inside, and I had to bring that back to me and love me for who I was in all parts. And I'm still continuing that, guys. It's not like this magic thing that is one and done. So I know I'm just like going off on this diatribe of this. That was why I felt so compelled. So when Dawn presented this opportunity and said, this is your book, and even, yes, I had my reaction that I had, I also knew she was calling me up to step into my leadership. And I did. And I'm continuing to.
Yeah, you did.
Still, there are days that are just, what the hell am I doing? And then there are days like, damn, I just did that. So I'm really proud of that. And I also want to make sure to recognize that this book, this project has
legacy. This legacy.
Yes, this is true. It is a legacy. The impact that it's going to have, the impact it's already had, and all of the audience. Right? So I'm going to invite Dawn to actually maybe talk for a minute here. We'll see.
I know people are going to be saying, "Oh my God, Dawn's been quiet for so long. What's going on?"
What the recognition of in this journey of these last 9 weeks of all of these authors coming together, many of which who have written before, many of which who are public figures, who have prolific careers, who are podcasters, who speak openly. We all went to the depths of our being, and we've had some people fall out. Well, we had one person literally who she just felt she couldn't be a part of this, and I respect and honor that. And everyone else who stayed on board through these last 9 weeks, it has been a roller coaster. We've had people absolutely fall to their own knees after writing the story, or watching how their journey has affected their current relationships, past and present, and in external relationships and internal relationships. So those are signifying to me that this book is going to have such major impact on so many, because of it's touching us in such profound ways, even though for some of us it's been 20, 30 years. For me, it was only 3. I thought I resolved a lot of that. I guarantee that anyone that's going to pick this book up is going to see a reflection of themselves in any one of these journeys. And it was really important that we had 15, because it's not just about me. Actually, it's not about me at all. It's, what do you as the reader get to see in yourself? How do you
not about any of us?
Right. It's about it's for all of us to have that opportunity to experience a deeper depth of our own beings. You, Dawn, are going to have a different experience than I have had a different experience than the next person. And that's the beauty of this connection, of this liveliness that we get to live in together. So I'm going to take a moment now. I'm going to introduce Dawn. So I've already kind of talked to you guys a little bit about her. Dawn, as I said, Spirit helped. She was the nail to say, okay, let's do this, and opened up this opportunity for the publishing. And it has been a wild ride. So Dawn, I invite you, please share. Can I start with sharing why, when I presented this, why you were so on fire? Because you were.
I'm always on fire.
I love it. Yeah, we're going to talk about that fire. We're going to continue to talk about that fire. It's a nice thread. But why was it great for you when this conversation started?
Okay. Just listening to you and the way in which you were talking about your passion project. For me, it's got to be a passion project for people. It's got to be something that is right in their core, something that they can't stop thinking about, something that they can't. And, you know, you're a breakup to wake up coach. You know, you work with people on this. You know, you help them transition through this. And you understand that the lessons that you have learned and the experiences that have happened for you have happened for you. They haven't happened to you. You've understood that they happen for us so that we can actually internalize them, so that we can then take them out into the world, into a much more powerful gift. Because it is a gift. Everything that happens for us is a gift for us to then deliver to other people. We are just a channel. We are the ending of generations. We are the person that gets to say, this is no longer happening in my lineage. This is no longer happening in my family. This is no longer happening to my gender. This is no longer happening in my community. I want to stop it right here, right now. You know, whether it's you're breaking up with your career, whether it's you're breaking up with your family or your faith. I mean, Paul, oh my God, Paul, who took part in this. I mean, I was on the phone to my boys, like, Paul is like,
I think you need to give a little background to Paul, just to give
okay, I will.
Yeah.
But again, I digress. But no change there then. That's a flat brain
okay.
in full effect. But you have this passion and you have this purpose that you can't ignore. It's in you. You've gone through all of this, not just once. It might have been once with your marriage, but like you've shared with me, it's been your career, it's been the moving home.
It was literally yesterday.
Yeah, well, I
literally
saw that
yesterday.
But anyway. See, this is the thing, like, it's like Carmel was saying to me, when it's not what people say to me, it's what they don't say to me. It's what I see that they're avoiding when I'm on a call with them. It's the things that, like, they'll start talking about something and then they'll divert around something else, or they'll say something and they'll stop, or they're like, I can see something shift in them. But you had such a powerful energy for this. And it was like, I don't want to just publish books that, I want to publish books that are game changing. I want to publish books and put my name to a book that's actually going to change the world. I am not putting my name to something that does not have a powerful legacy that follows on, and not just for the people that take part in the book, but for their families, their communities, and for the generations that follow. The ripple effect that this book is going to have, and like you said, is already having. You know, 16 authors from 5 different continents all said yes.
And let's just dive into that for a moment. So, you know, since we've started to talk about the book, and I've been talking about it on Facebook for several weeks, I personally have had a number of people reach out to me privately, asking me how I recruited all of these authors and how these things have happened. And to really be honest with you guys, I had this panel series, but the panel series had only come together. The panelists had only come together maybe a week prior to the really conceptualization of the book. So this community came together very quickly. I put the call out and said, hey, who wants to be a part of it, right? I wasn't recruiting people to say, I need your story. It was, this is an opportunity. If you're on board, I'd love to have you. And it turned into attracting other people. People saw the posts online and were reaching out to me and saying, I want to be a part of this, right? I want to be a part of this. Authors enrolling other authors who knew that they had other friends in their circles who said, I know that this person's ready to take this leap. And this is a perfect opportunity. You're creating a platform in which this person gets to do more of their own healing in a very public way. And this is like this opportunity. So, that to me was such a reflection to what the impact that this really has, because it wasn't me seeking.
No,
it was me receiving.
But that's the thing though, Jocelyn, right? When we are in alignment with what we're doing, and when we are working with the right people, things just happen. We have no, when we get out of our own way, we stop thinking about it, stop saying, how is it going to happen? It just happens. It's like when you came to me with this, I knew instantly that my friend Renelle, like, total badass. I mean, we all know that. Those of you who don't know who Renelle McPherson is, I suggest you get on Facebook and you look her up, or you actually look at the tags that have been put on here, and you go connect with Renelle. Her story, oh my gosh, like, I love that woman. I was like, there is no way she is not being in this book. And that's the thing, when we come across something and when we are so in line with something, it's like, okay, I know someone who's got to share in this book. I know someone who you need to speak to. I know a podcast this needs to go on. I know that, and sometimes it's, a lot of people, they go, okay, what can I get out of this? Where is the collective glory for me? Where am I going to benefit? Where is it about me? It's not about me. It's not about I. It's about the message. It's about being of service. It is about saying, you know what? I'm going to come together with all these other people from around the world. And yes, let's just look at it from a very selfish, very strategic business point of view, because let's cover that. When people took part in this project, yes, they did make an investment. Okay, but they would make that investment in their marketing. That they wouldn't be able to get part of people in this. I wouldn't know the people in this book if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't be able to be part of their network now and be introduced to other people in their network. I wouldn't be having talks about additional books with other members of this group.
Mm-hmm.
Can
we spend a quick moment there? So I want to take a quick sidestep on that, because I want to highlight that too. What even the greater impact here. So like one of the authors, Danny Liu, who's in the UK, so I know you, Dawn, are working with another woman who is putting together a compilation series as well.
Yeah, and Danny, she's got a book called Standing in Strength, about women and their body image and their different strength. Lani's a power. We call her the power lady.
Yeah. So Danny, who is part of this book, is also going to be part of Lani's book. And I think that's the beauty, like just a beautiful connection piece that we get to create through all of this, because it really is, it's about the impact. And I think, and thank you for recognizing that from the early on, because oftentimes, I know for myself, I don't always see the power that I have. And I know you make sure that I recognize that. You've done that throughout the process. You're like,
that's the thing, you're in my space now. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see you play small ever again. And if you even think about it, I shall get my mama head on.
Fair enough. And I will, and I know that, right? I know that. I know I'm being called up for bigger things.
Yeah, you are. We all are.
We all are, right? And I just want to, and the thing is, this from the beginning, this passion, it was a fire for me. Once those words came through, I knew that I didn't know how it was going to happen. I know, like, days before we had to get the call in for the 15 authors, we were like 3/4 of the way, and I started panicking, and I was like, wait, I recognize what this is. I'm going to take a step back from that. And what happened? I started turning authors away. We had over 20, I didn't even talk to you about this. I think at the end, I had over 25 authors. And I was like, I'm at capacity. Thank you. And oh, by the way, there's going to be a series. So let's stay in touch, because book number 2 will be out in May or June of 2021. Similar theory, we're going to stay on the breakdown to wake up, and looking at a community breakdowns and personal stories within community. And then the third part of the series is community, it's societal breakdown, which is of course what we're in right now, right? We've had this world pandemic, and here in the US, you know, we're in the midst of election day 3, right? That societal breakdown, like what is that experience like to be in a society that you thought was once working and you believed in and you took an oath to be a part of, and all of those walls are falling around you.
I just want to make it clear that I didn't sign up for that. I'm outside the system, people.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, it's still, you know, it's only November. That one's not coming out until next year, the end of next year.
I didn't sign no contract to follow any laws.
Oh, that. Okay, got that. I was like, wait, you are writing this book you are coming on board for
No, I cancelled it. No, I cancelled it yesterday. Sorry.
Great. Awesome, you guys. This is live, so and we're recording it. I'll make sure to delete that part.
No, you won't.
Hold on.
I don't get deleted.
And remind her that she is on board, no matter what she said.
There's no way. I'm the captain of the ship, darling. I haven't quite got my own boat, but I'm getting there.
You
but no, but this is the thing. It's like, you know, one of the reasons why people have all these breakdowns is because they follow rules which do not apply to them. And this is what, you know, and they think that these rules apply to them, and they think they have to abide by these rules, and they think that this is how they should do things. And, you know, I mean, my mother will tell you that I am probably the biggest rule breaker. She knows, and she kind of goes, yes, like, whatever, Dawn, like, just, because she's just got used to the fact that Dawn, I always come up smelling of roses, which is all right. Takes me a while to get there sometimes, and it is a bit shitty and a bit smelly sometimes, but I always get where I want to be. I even tell my boys, just because I'm your mother does not mean to say you have to follow my rules. This is why my rules are there. I actually really only have 3 rules, and sometimes I can't even remember what they are. But, you know, it's like, be honest, be respectful, and have fun. Because with those, if you are operating within those 3, inside that trilogy of rules, everything flows. You're respectful of yourself, you're respectful of other people, you're respectful of your environment, you're respectful of the planet, you're respectful of other people and their views. And if you're going to be honest, I mean, in my PhD at the moment, we're studying about, you know, what is morality and honesty and kindness and happiness, you know, and the ethics underlying all of that. But when we go through these breakdowns, it's because our soul has said, you know what, I'm not going to live by your rules anymore. I'm not going to live by these preconceived ideas that have been pushed upon me or imposed upon me. Or, I mean, take, for example, my story is about the parenting, the relationship I have with my children, and how that does not conform to the legal framework. Because I'm raising conscious individuals. I am raising competent, conscious, and confident individuals.
Yeah.
And the law does not allow you to do that. The law keeps you small. The law encourages you to lie and manipulate.
Yeah.
And because I don't subscribe to that, and I tell my boys, smart people do not follow stupid rules and question every single one of them. And that is why this book is so important, because you've got, I mean, we mentioned Paul earlier.
Yeah.
Paul's story is about faith that his parents chose, and how he grew up in that, and how he could not be who he was born to be, and how he had this, he wrote, I mean, honestly, the letter he wrote to his mom had me sobbing. I mean, I'm not even halfway through the letter, and I'm like crying my eyes out.
I was the same.
And I'm thinking,
because I read it before you, and I was like, I don't know if I can read this in one sitting.
That's right, because you sent me a message, did you? I've just read Paul's story, and I've gone, like,
yeah.
Okay, I stopped exactly what I was doing. I think I was in the middle of writing, I don't even know what I was writing at that point. I stopped exactly what I was doing. I dropped it all and I was like, right, I'm going to go read Paul's chapter.
Yeah.
But
and there's going to be, and we're going to have time with all of these authors to talk about their own stories too, because I think there's so many brilliance. Like the one that's coming through for me right now is Jason's journey with his relationship with his parents, specifically with his father, and how, how raw he gets and really he gets within his own heart. And I have a blessing, right? I just got to know him earlier this year. He happens to live nearby, and we met for other reasons, or we were introduced for other reasons initially. And getting to know him as a person, and then to see this story on the page, I see him so differently. And so, I have such a deeper level of honor and respect for this being that I get to share space with. It's really profound, and I don't want to give it away any more than it's really beautiful. And every single one of these authors, I was in tears for different reasons, and it showed up in different ways. Like we have Arlene who talks about conscious parenting, right? And the night that story came through, and I was reading it, I was dishonoring my own child. My child was with me. I have a 6-year-old son, and he was here with me. And actually, you yelled at me over Messenger. Told me let my ego go, and of course, that made me even angrier. So I just shut you down and kept reading and ignored my child. And I recognize that in the timeliness of that story coming through, and what I was actually doing or not doing in that. And so there's going to be there's going to be continual layerings of this and understandings. And one of the things that we decided, and I thought was such a brilliant move, is there's going to be reflection pages at the end of every chapter.
Necessary or necesario.
Yeah, so that as the reader, you can take your notes. What is it that you're reflecting? What are you seeing within yourself? What are you recognizing and acknowledging? And it's not like it's up to you to decide what you do with it, right? Or not do with it. We want to provide.
You can play noughts and crosses if you like, guys. You've got blank space.
And I'm guaranteed this is going to incite people. It's going to incite the readers. It's going to incite family members of the authors who may have felt that they were dishonored in some way. And we know that that's already happening, because I know I've had many conversations with authors about how it's unfolded around them. So that's occurring, and that to me is exciting, because it means that people are being sparked, and their fires are getting ignited, and it gives them an opportunity to continue to unfold and layer back and say, okay, where is my true me? I want to talk about the rules for a moment. So the way that this is how I do this in my coaching practice, and this is also how I abide in my living, is I think I've always been a rule breaker. I've always been very, very curious as to why we do things the way we do. And I'm also a 4 on the Enneagram, so that's an individualist. So I do everything the way I want to do it. You can love me because I'm so unique, and you can't possibly understand me because I'm so unique. It's awesome. And it's all based on my values, right? Not necessarily by the rules that were given and imposed upon me by the society that I've chosen to live in. It's who do I want to show up as within and around the construct that I've decided to be a part of. I'm going to accept this part. I'm not going to accept that part. This is in alignment with my being, and I'm going to show up in this way. Or no, you don't get access to me because I don't like how what's happening here. And it's my choice. And I get to continue to choose to step into that and step through those veils of fear, because we know fear is just up here, right? It's just a figment of what we believe to be true, because a lot of it's BS. And it's really stepping into that. It's really stepping into and owning who we are at the essence of who we are. Oh my gosh, you're quiet.
Wow, just listening.
So that's, there's going to be
people are going to be laughing because I have been quite quiet, And they're like, Dawn's never quiet when she's being like, you know, and this is the thing is, this is your journey. This is your book. Yeah, I'm the publisher. Yeah, I'm a contributor. But this is your book. This is your brand. And this is how you've taken your passion and you've taken your brand and your coaching that you're doing and your panel service and you've expanded it. You've expanded yourself. You have just, and next time she interrupts me, I'm just going to shut her down for a second because I am going to now share with you about this woman. Okay. And not only do I think she looks like Baby at Dirty Dancing, and I've told her that many times. No, but Baby, shut up. Shut up. Just a minute. But throughout this journey, there have been moments when I've seen this woman at her rawest and in her most vulnerable state. And yes, I have told her, put your bloody phone down, switch off your computer and go and play with your son. I have told her that. I have told her to pull up her bridges on many occasions. But the thing is, it's like when you are leading a group of 15 other leaders, people who are strong in their purpose, people who know what they want, people who have got an established career, an established identity, an established brand, whether they are a podcaster, an author, a business leader, whether they, whatever role that they have. For someone to be able to lead those kind of people speaks volumes about the kind of leadership that they have. Has it all been plain sailing? Obviously, I have to throw in a nautical. Those of you who don't know me, I sail around the world. You know, I'm looking at the ocean right now, and she's bloody beautiful. But to be able to lead other leaders takes, you know, takes bloody courage. And those of you who also don't know me, but those of you who do know me, I have a phrase, own your ovaries. And this woman really, truly did own them. She got confronted. But she never once says, that's it, I'm quitting. Not once. So I really, really honor you. Because for you to have called together all of these people from around the world, like I said, you put the call out. You didn't go hunting for them. They showed up because you showed up. You are gifting them the opportunity to serve. You are gifting them the opportunity to make a difference in the world. You did that, Justin. And there aren't many people that will do that. There are lots of people who will talk about doing it. And there are lots of people that, you know, will want to talk about talking about doing it. But you did it. And I really, really honor you for that. I really acknowledge you for creating an opportunity for all these people to serve. You know, we've got people from India, we've got people with heritages from Jamaica, we've got British, we've got Australian, American, you know, Canadians, New Zealanders. I mean, Stefan, like his story about alcoholism, Bryce's story. Like, I'm reading it, I'm thinking, holy shit, when's the director gonna shout cut? You know, like Bryce's story should be a movie, you know, absolutely. And yes, Bryce, it should be a movie. It probably is actually, but it needs to be another one. But this is the thing, it's like people are done reading fiction books. Awakened people are done, shall I say, reading fiction books. You know, but we're also, as leaders and podcasters and authors and business leaders, it's no longer enough to write the top 10 tips or to collate our emails or to, you know, get our, you know, a checklist together. We have to rise higher. No, I'm just we're gonna shush. Right. It's a good job we love each other, isn't it? But see, this thing, it's no longer enough just to serve you know, and think that we've got all the answers, or to think that our lives are perfect, because they're not. You know, people go, oh, she's sailing around the world. Oh, she's living the dream. Yeah, I still have to do my laundry. I still have to figure stuff out. I still have to get an Uber. I still have to go shopping. You know, I still won't let anybody else really cook my food. Because, well, I'm gluten-free and I'm vegetarian, almost vegan, and like, you try getting food like that you can eat, but it's not full of crap, and trying to find out whether the eggs come from free-range chickens that haven't been kept in a prison and fed toxic food, and you try and do that in a completely different language, and you know, but this is the thing, we've all got these challenges, we've all got these things that we've gone through to get to where we are. And that's made us stronger. That's made us so independent. It makes us quite difficult to lead. And yet here you are, leading the lot of us. So kudos to you, darling. Absolute kudos to you. And there she goes.
No.
No.
They're not coming in. I'm just feeling all the feels. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know me, I say it how it is. Sometimes I get shown the door, sometimes I don't.
What kept coming through as you were talking, what kept coming through for me was a few things. Never once, not even through this process, but just not within my being, do I ever want to write about the how-to to do these things. Yes, I do that in the coaching of, okay, there's some structure of, this is a way you can try it, because everyone's individual. It was never going to be a how-to book. I knew that from the get-go. And I don't think I'll ever write a how-to book. And I don't mean to discredit that, because there's value in them, right? One of my, some of my most favorite authors that I value have written those how-to books, and those have been my Bibles. For me, they helped me to awaken. For me to make impact. For me had to be human connection, and it had to be heart connection. Not how to do these things and train our brains. How are we going to navigate through this human experience that we're having? And to be able to have a platform in which to share that, so that others can see themselves. Because when I began this, from 3 years ago, and I was sitting in my stupor. When I say sitting, I was really like pinned to the floor. I couldn't get up, no energy. I had others in front of me who were already through that tunnel, who were already on the other side in the light, basking and glowing in it, and telling and just encouraged me to say, you will find your way. You're going to see it for yourself. And I clung on to someone else's until I could do it for myself. And now it's my responsibility to be that light for others to find theirs. And that's not going to ever stop, ever. Even in my darkest of darkest, it's never going to stop. Because that to me is the impact. That to me is the journey. When I think about the people that have had the most profound impact on me, and not even just to say to me, I'm going to take this larger, right? Who is, and you know the answer to this, which YouTube video has had the most views worldwide? You know this. Brene Brown getting up to talking about vulnerability has the most widely recognized.
Right, I now need to share something else, right? Because someone was going to include a quote in the book.
Okay,
no.
You go back there. So, I want you to include that. Yeah, we can talk about that. So here's the thing, right? The point for me on that is she's talking about being open and being raw and being okay and embracing who you are for all parts of you, and not having someone else fix you, because it's no one else's responsibility. You're not broken, by the way. just sitting and doing the work, right? And that aligned. That's how I've lived, and I never recognized it until the last few years. Okay, so yes, go on with the opening quote. Go right ahead.
So there's a quote at the beginning of the book, and as we said, you've got a chapter each. Each author's got their own chapter. There's reflections at the end of each chapter for you to make notes on. But there's a quote at the beginning of the book which we were led to believe was Brené Brown's. And we need permission. If you're ever going to write a book and include a quote, you need permission from the person whose quote you're using. I was like, right, you need to get permission. She's like, what? I was like, you need to go to them and get permission.
To her and Marianne, because there was another quote.
Yeah, Marianne Williamson.
Marianne.
Yeah. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, you need to go on. There's your book. So I made her go and contact Brené Brown and get hold of Marianne Williamson. And that can be really challenging for people because it's like people put others on a pedestal and we get imposter syndrome and we feel that we are inadequate or that we're not as good as other people. And that's why I believe that Brené Brown's video is probably, I mean, I didn't know it was, I mean, I'm not a YouTuber. I mean, I choose a song. My limitations on YouTube, I go to Sandra Rollis's, I mean, if you ladies need any womb healing or sexual de-armoring, you want some really great meditations, go to sandrarollis.com and look at her meditations. They're amazing. My extent of YouTube is, oh, I want to listen to this song. And I put it on and I just let it play all day, or I'll go and I seek out a meditation or cord cutting. That's my YouTube experience. I'm not really, I can't really, I mean, I know what I'm doing when I want to search the law or I want to search politics and things like that. But YouTube, yeah, not so much. So I didn't know that Brené Brown's thing, I had no idea. Why would I know that? I don't even know where I was going with that. But the thing is, I have no idea where I was going with that.
We were talking about the quote and how I had to write to her.
Yeah, you did. You had to get a hold of her. But this thing, that's it. I know where I was going now. But one of the reasons why I believe that video would be the most watched is because it is about being vulnerable. People misunderstand it. They think that you're weak when you're vulnerable. But you're not, you're powerful. And when you speak from your truth and when you share your experience, that takes courage. You know, and I'm not talking about all the drama queens, you know, and all the vague bookers, not Facebookers, they're called vague bookers. I hate bloody vague bookers. Like, can't stand them. Like, if I see it, I unfollow, pretty much delete. Like seriously, if you're going to be vague booking all over the place, I don't want you in my space. You either say what you mean or say what you think, or you ask directly. I am bull in a china shop. I've always known that. I'm Sagittarian. Seriously, fire, direct archer, on target. Like seriously.
It's funny. For all these months, I've been wanting to ask you, and I was like, she's got to be a fire sign also, because I'm an Aries, the cardinal fire. So of course we get along. There's no surprise.
Cardinal points. Of course, I'm a sailor girl. Fire, and it's my birthday in 4 weeks. Yay! Anyway, celebration aside, I can't believe it's going to be my birthday in 4 weeks, and I've got a birthday present from Nathan. Thank you. But the thing is, it's like everybody who's taken part in this book has shown up. They've been vulnerable. They've shared a part of their soul and their journey so that everybody else can learn, everybody else can know that they're not alone. Everyone else can know what it takes, and that, you know, all these successful people that we look up to, like Marsha, lovely Marsha. I did love Marsha. You know, her, like when she shared her part in the foreword, Marsha Martin, like I read that and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to sit here for a moment and just process. She's such a beautiful woman.
And so for the audience who may or may not know Marsha Martin's name, because I will be honest with you, I didn't either until Dawn said, okay, this is the woman that's going to write your forward. And I said, great. Who is she? I didn't know. For those of you who may not be familiar with Landmark Worldwide, she is one of the founding members of said organization. Yeah, the world's largest personal development company. And she is opening this book. And there was a moment, I will say, actually, I don't think I've really had any imposter. I really haven't. I just felt I've had moments and I've passed through them.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, we all do. Everyone does. I don't know any, even like I had this lady the other day. You should see her out on the waves. Like, badass surfer chick.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. She was like, I admire you so much. I'm in awe of you. And I was like, why? Like, I'm just sat here watching her out. And like, I'm like, if I could surf like that. And she's like, you cross oceans. She goes, at least I can still see the sea. I can still see land. You go out there, you're weeks away from land. You don't care. And I'm like, no, it's the best place ever. Just being weeks away from land.
So here's the thing. This is where we get into some of this comparison trap, right? We compare our lives and our successes and failures based on someone else's experience. And that's where we get out of our being, right? We step outside of ourselves, and really the gem and the gooey, ooey loveliness is right here. We all have it within ourselves. And yes, it's amazing to keep company with other people that inspire me every day. Absolutely. I want to continue that, because that continues to say, okay, what's next for me? And it doesn't have to be like, there is a piece of me that's like, I always wanted to do the next thing. Like I'm already recruiting authors for the next book. It happened earlier today. I mean, I talked to Dawn about it. Someone reached else and I said, hey, I've got this thing, right? I'm already on the next thing. Here's the thing of it though. I know who I am. I know I have capacities where I hit walls and I say no because I've hit a place that's a discomfort. Doesn't mean I'm done. It just means I have to sit still for a minute. It just has to mean.
And I love that about you, actually. That is one thing, like when you say, actually, I just need a timeout, where you honor yourself and you set your boundaries. And this is the thing, when people get to work with you on a one-to-one in your coaching, like the fact that you're so good at setting boundaries and honoring your space and going, you know what, yeah, this is my purpose, I'm not done, but right now, right here, I need to go for a cycle ride, or I need to go for a walk out in nature, or you know what, I need to go play for a minute, or whatever it is, you take a time out. And then you're back and you come back stronger. Anyone that works with you as they're going through this process, they're so lucky to have you as a coach. So lucky. Like I said, I say what I think. Gets me into trouble sometimes, but I don't care. And that's the thing, it's one of those beautiful things that we get to say no. No is a full sentence, but we also get to say yes. And neither of them need an explanation.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't. And it's so funny. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I have a very good girlfriend here locally, and she shared that no is a full sentence with me over the summer. She's got 2 young girls. And I was like, man, I love that, because it's something that I continue to embrace for myself, of saying yes to the things that make me feel good, or yes to the things I want to explore, and being able to say no. But that gave a whole new context. No, period. Mm-hmm. Not no, and this is why. No, period.
And for those of you who are not American, it's just no and a full stop. It's not the other kind of period.
A whole different connotation. So we can continue on and on and on. And
we could do, but I'm going for a swim in the ocean, so hurry up.
Well, we've been at this for an hour, and you and we can talk for hours, because we have many times over. Okay, so let's summarize this. November 7th, pre-sale for this book.
Pacific Standard Time. So those of you who are tuning in from a different continent or a different
I didn't say a time, I
zone,
only said a date, but go ahead.
yes, but the 7th of November, and I really want to make this clear for everybody, we're publishing on the 7th of November, Pacific Standard Time. We are not publishing going live on the 7th of November, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. That is a 12, no, that's a 10 hour, no, for Pacific Standard Time, that's a 13-hour difference. Oh my God, I can.
What time zone?
Okay, which time zone are you in? Let me tell you. But this is really important because there are going to be, because we've got people from so many different time zones working on this book, we are operating from Pacific Standard Time. So it will drop in Amazon and the other platforms playing the game properly and doing as they're told. Amazon, just saying.
The only time she's ever following rules.
Yeah, no, come on, Amazon. I'm right near the Amazon. How cool is that? But anyway, as a side note, we will be going live on the 7th of November, Pacific Standard Time. So those of you who are tuning in from Australia, you will probably be getting your links on the 8th of November. So just want to make that very clear that we are dealing with Pacific Standard Time when we say the 7th of November. That's pre-launch. And what date are we actually going live with the paperback, young lady?
11/22, November 22nd. It will be available for sale, for reading, for enjoying. So yeah, 12 weeks, start to finish. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Dawn, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I'm sorry I've been pulling faces. I put a bit too much apple cider vinegar in my water.
Oh, yeah, I've done that too. I've been guilty of that. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. More to come. There will be continuing over the next several weeks. You'll be seeing a lot of me, joined by the other authors that are all part of this series, of part 1 series. So stay tuned, and we look forward to having more.
Thank you so much. Oh, and happy Guy Fawkes Day. You want to send up a rocket? Send it up today, because Guy Fawkes, we celebrate you. Bit of anarchy. Ah! Anyway, much love. Buy the book.
Yeah.
Ciao for now.